This podcast is powered by Birdie Brain. If you are looking to increase stamina, elevate focus, and hydrate with an artificial sweetener-free, superior nootropic, then you need Birdie Brain. Birdie Brain is specially formulated to provide golfers with the key nutrients they need to excel on the course. With a blend of essential vitamins, minerals, and nootropics, Birdie Brain is designed to support hydration, focus, and cognitive function, helping you achieve your best golf game yet. Stay focused on your next shot with Birdie Brain's powerful combination of natural nootropics to keep those scores low, such as lion's mane mushroom powder. Birdie Brain's ultimate hydration formula with sea salt, coconut water extract, magnesium, and sea minerals, and potassium will keep you fueled for all 18 holes and then some. Visit getbirdiebrain.com and sign up for email notifications to get 15% off your first order and never miss out on exclusive offers. There's even a sale going on right now. Tell them the boys at Fairway Forecheck sent you. I use Birdie Brain anytime I need a pick-me-up, especially when I need to focus for a round or to shoot some content. My favorite flavor is the wild cherry. Spencer loves the pineapple mango, and Mason is an Arnold Palmer man himself. You just can't go wrong with any flavor. Visit getbirdiebrain.com to get yours today. And we now welcome on a very special guest. He hails from Oak Bank, Manitoba, Canada, in the Great White North. At just 11 years old, he got to attend the Masters at Augusta as a finalist for the National Drive, Chip, and Putt Series. Some would say a South Mountain Community College golf legend. And Niagara University's newest stripe show. Please welcome to the Fairway Forechecks podcast, Ryan Blair. Ryan, thanks for being here today.
Thank you very much for having me on.
So let's start. Where are you located right now, and how has the summer golf season been going? Like, what you've been doing tournaments? What's been going on in your season in the nice weather so far?
So I'm back here in Winnipeg for the summer, living at home, and I'm golfing out of Elmhurst Country Club. So I got back home from school beginning of May. And pretty much just been grinding since then. I'm taking this summer to try to really focus and improve for the upcoming Division I season. So I played in the Prairie Scratch Tour event at Southwood, which I ended up winning, was my first event of the summer, which was awesome. And then the Manitoba match play was next. Got out in the second round, wasn't exactly what I was hoping for, but good learning experience. It was at Breezy Bend Golf Course, which is a great course. So, and then this past weekend.
Okay, well, you got the win. You got the win.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then the Elmhurst Invitational was this past weekend, where I finished fifth. Had a really good first round. Not great front nine yesterday, which was the second round, and then 1 under on the back nine. So it's been a good start to the summer so far, and the next event will be the Manitoba Amateur.
Okay, nice. Well, you got the win, and then I guess the biggest lesson about the last tournament was back nines matter, and so you got the 1 under and held it under there. But so just real quick, you're on because I'm good buddies and played hockey with one of your buddies, Jackson Reimer. I reached out to him. Good Manitoba boy. I reached out to him and said, "Hey, I know he's a golfer," and I said, "Do you happen to know any like college or even professional golfers?" And he was like, "I know just the guy." And so he threw me your name, and then I hit you up and I said, "Hey, do you want to come on?" So, how do you know that beauty, Jackson, and where does that relationship come from? And then just pump his tires a little bit, chirp him a little bit. What do you give me a funny story about Jackson if you have one?
So I took a year off from hockey when I was 15, when I started going to school in the city. And then when I turned 16, I decided I'd play another year of SEALs hockey, A1 hockey. So I went from a bit higher level AA, and then I was like, well, we'll come back, just see how it is. Signed up for SEALs A1, and then that year I ended up being the captain, and Jackson or sorry, not Jackson, his younger brother, the
Yeah, yeah,
assistant
yeah.
that year. So we were good buddies that year. We were close. We went golfing a few times in the summer, and he's just a great kid. Should probably reconnect with him. Haven't seen him in a few years. So yeah, good guy.
Yeah, he's a beauty. I played in Israel with him, and then obviously I've played in a few other exhibitions with him. He's a fantastic kid. Yeah, so he talks very highly of you. So he gave me your name immediately whenever I asked if he knew any good golfers out there. So I'm very glad he connected us. So let's get into this real quick. The coolest, I think one of the coolest parts of kind of your journey so far was that drive, chip, and putt challenge. So it's a national youth series where guys like Ashke Batia have came from, who we all know is doing like super well on tour now. You got to experience that, not only experience it, but win qualifier after qualifier to eventually like get to Augusta at just like you were 11 years old. So just take us through like that process. Like, how do you get into the drive, chip, and putt challenge? Like, how do what are the qualifiers like? How many do you have to win? Like, what was the process of getting to Augusta like? And then what was Augusta like and how did that go? And just, getting to experience something like that at such a young age.
So my dad actually found out about it from watching the Masters. We saw it on TV. So the next summer, when I was 10 years old, we decided we might as well try to go qualify. So the closest qualifier for the first round, there's three rounds. So I'm not sure what they're called, but it would be like sectionals, regionals, and then to move on to nationals. So the first one was in Grand Forks at Kings Walk, the Arnold Palmer course there. So I didn't really know what to expect, and I don't remember it too well. But you do the three stages. You got the chipping where you chip three balls, and then there's the rings with the points. So I can't remember what. I think chipping, I finished the best that one, and then I ended up winning the first region to move on to the next one, which was in Moorhead, um, in North Dakota. So that was the next region, and I think I either won or finished second because that one there's two spots to move on to regional. So I finished first or second for that one. And then the final one was in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where there's one spot to go to Augusta, and I ended up winning that one. I remember that one pretty well. It's a pretty special moment for me, and my dad was there as well, so it was awesome to be able to share that with him. And then obviously going to Augusta the next year, next April, um, we made a family trip out of it, and it was amazing. I'll never forget. I was 11 years old, but it'll be something I remember for the rest of my life. We showed up there. The drive down Magnolia Lane was unbelievable, and then we got to hit balls on the members driving range where the pros don't even get access to, which was crazy cool. I made a hole in one while I was warming up. They have the greens there on the driving range, so I'll
No.
remember that forever. Yeah, it was pretty awesome. I just look over to my dad and he's like, "Did I go in?" And
Wow.
I was like, "Yeah." So that was cool, holding out on the driving range there, and then chipping on the chipping green. They got the caddies with the aprons clearing the balls off, and all the balls have the Masters logo on them. And it was just unbelievable. My dad sneaking them into his pocket. We brought a couple home, so just
Yeah.
an unbelievable
Of
experience.
course,
I'll
of
never
course.
forget.
I would have brought
It's
30. I would have brought 2 dozen home.
Yeah, exactly, and it's just like I can't even describe. It's the greenest place on the earth. Not a piece of grass is out of place. Like it's just unbelievable,
Oh,
and to
I
be able
love
to
green.
yeah, to be able to experience that at such a young age. I mean, I'll hopefully be fighting to get back there for the rest of my life. That's a lifelong dream of mine. So
Yeah, no, I mean, I watched a video about it and just like, I think getting to even go there to spectate, the Masters as an adult and just walk the course would be like a dream come true for a lot of golfers. Just getting a ticket and getting to go eat the food and spend your entire bank account in the pro shop and just
pro shop,
the
yeah.
things like that. But getting to actually pull your clubs out and like hit balls where like legends have stood and hit balls, and just getting to actually like play in any kind of event there, like that's got to be amazing. Like that, I mean, that's, I don't know, to be like, you could play professional golf, and even small tournaments probably wouldn't be as cool as getting to go to the Masters at 11 years old. That's wild, man. That's wild. So super. I'm sure you're super. You understand how fortunate you are to have gotten to do something like that. So that's pretty crazy. I want to talk about your high school golf, and so you played for Vincent Massey Collegiate, if I have that correct. And so I
Yep.
just want to ask a question about, other than going to Augusta, and then like where did you kind of, in what part of your career between like Augusta and then high school, like where did you realize like, hey, I'm pretty good at this game, I've got some actual potential to play a high level of golf? Like where did that kind of set in for you? Was it when was it Augusta, or was it like a little bit after? Kind of where did you kind of come to that realization of like, damn, I'm good at this?
So there's been different moments throughout my golf career. I've been golfing since I was 3 years old. So I won my first tournament I ever played in. I was 8 years old. It was in Calgary. It was a CJGA event. It was a nine-hole uh, tournament, and I shot one under my first tournament. So from there, I kind of realized like I'm pretty good at this. I'm 8 years old. It's something I enjoyed, and I started taking it a little more serious from that point. And then the drive, chip, and putt happened a couple years later, which was unbelievable. And then I kind of went through a spurt throughout my teenage years where it was golf and hockey, and I wasn't really sure which one I wanted to do. I love both. It was kind of hockey in the winter, golf in the summer. And then once I graduated high school, I took a gap year, um, worked construction for 6 months to save up some money so I could go down to Phoenix. And that's where I started working with the swing coach during my gap year. And he's an amazing coach. His name is Jin Park. He coaches KH Lee on the PGA Tour, Kevin Yu, a bunch of other guys. He played on the Korean Tour and PGA Tour for a while. Just an amazing guy, and I was fortunate enough to spend a few months with him, and to have someone like that believe in you uh, makes you have to believe in yourself as well. He was able to tell me, like, my dad went there down there with me and met him, and we asked him, watch my swing, watch me hit balls for an hour, and if you think I have what it takes, we'll pursue this. And if he says, well, maybe this will be a fun trip to Phoenix, but you should go back to school and pursue something else. And he uh, he thought I had what it took, so he worked with me for that winter, and then I found South Mountain Community College while I was down there. So that's when I really, that winter. So that would have been 2022. Was when I really started to take things more seriously.
Yeah, so I think that kind of shows too in your very cool story, by the way, taking a gap year, saving up money, and then finding this legend of a swing coach. But I think that kind of shows in your kind of like online career trajectory, like once you got to South Mountain, like you're tying for 70 at that nationals, right? You're tying for top 16th finish at the Division II nationals. Oh, and oh, stick taps. There he is, Christopher Peterson Mason. Stick taps. Wow. Welcome on, buddy. Finally made it. Finally made it. Okay. Quiet as usual, but no worries there. So, Mason, we're just talking about Ryan's kind of community college golf career and how he found it. And so, like I was saying, a top 16 finish at the Region One Division Two championships. Then you have two top five invitational finishes. So like, what was the obviously my next question was going to be like, what was the decision making process behind that school? But you said it yourself. You took a year off, you saved up some money, you found this swing coach, and then you found this school to play for. So I guess it's going to lead me into my next kind of segment of your career. what led you from the South Mountain Community College to now Niagara, right? So next year you're going to be going to Niagara. You're a Niagara University commit, which is totally badass. Where was the decision making process behind that, and kind of what led you to pick Niagara?
So I'll start off even before South Mountain. So that summer, or the summer after I would took my gap year in Phoenix, I qualified for the U.S. Junior. So from there, I kind of knew I was good enough to play at the Division 1 level, but I started reaching out to schools so late. Like I reached out to a bunch of Division 1 programs that June, and I heard back from quite a few for being that late in the year, but it wasn't anything standout. And school was expensive, so that's kind of why I was like, okay, we'll take two years at South Mountain. Um, try to play every single event, show myself because it's way easier to get recognized down in the States than it is here in Canada. Um, so played really solid my
Why
first
is
year.
that? Why is that? Can like why is it so much more? Why is it easier?
Just because of our schedule here, like Manitoba has the Manitoba Junior, which is like our designated junior event. But other than that, we don't have anything great to kind of showcase our talented golfers, and that's especially here in Manitoba, especially. Like if you're from Ontario, British Columbia, it's a lot easier. They have some good tournaments out there, but as someone from Winnipeg or Saskatchewan or in any of the East Coast provinces, it's kind of harder to get recognized. So it's
Okay,
always have a better shot if you're down there competing in the States.
makes sense. Makes sense. Okay, continue.
So first year went really well last year. This year wasn't as great. Didn't get off to as hot of a start, but then once I did start playing, I had three tournaments in a row where I played pretty solid. I think I had one or two top 10 finishes, and then I ended up tearing a ligament in the back of my hand, and it broke a piece of bone off. So I dealt with that the entire spring semester, which was awful, but it gave me time to reach out to schools, and that's how I connected with Coach Frank at Niagara University. We pretty much clicked from the first couple of emails. He seemed to care a lot about me. The school, there was two or three guys leaving, so that would mean there's opportunity for me to play this upcoming year. Um, and so it kind of worked out perfectly. It's nice and close to the Canadian border. It's about 2 minutes. I went and visited this past weekend, which was super cool to see the school and meet the team and stuff. So yeah, just led from my injury this winter allowed me to send out some emails and connected with him, and kind of ball started rolling from there.
So, what is for anybody who doesn't know, what is like the college golf season like? When does it really start? What is the process like? So, I know, from what I've seen, D1 college nationals are team based, but where does the individual performance come in? Like, how does your team qualify for nationals? What is the season like? Take us through like the process of playing D1 college golf.
So it's split up into two seasons. So there's the fall season and then spring season. Fall season is important for individual, like to get yourself out there in the rankings, get noticed. Uh, but team wise, it's not super duper important. Uh, you play, usually it's like 4 or 5 events in the fall, which will go from August to or end of August, beginning of September to November. And then there's a 2 month break from November to February, end of January, February. And that's when the spring season starts, which you play like 5, 6, 7 events. And that's where the team scores matter because it all goes towards rankings and stuff to get, well, everyone plays regionals and then you qualify through regionals to get into nationals. So that's, I
Okay.
mean, it's
Okay, that makes
the
sense.
end goal. Yeah. And then for each tournament, what I played at in the junior college events were just 2 day events. So it'll be 18 holes, 18 holes. But for Division One, it'll be 36 and then 18, which will be a bit harder. But it'll with it being 3 rounds, you can gain world amateur golf rankings.
Okay. Okay. So is that how a lot of these college golfers actually qualify to like play in these PGA events as like amateurs
Yep,
is getting those ranking points? Okay, that
yep.
makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, it's clicking. It's clicking. I'm not very smart, but it's clicking. Mason, I know you had a couple like fun golf questions that I'm interested to hear answers to too. So like, use your outside voice now, buddy. What do you got for Ryan?
Personally, I haven't golfed with any celebrities, but 2 years ago, I caddied for a Corn Ferry Tour player in the Monday qualifier for the Waste Management, and Cameron Young was in our group. So I met him. I mean, that was
Okay.
the week before he finished second at Riviera. So he was an absolute no name when I met him. And then 2 weeks later, he finished second on the PJ Tour, and it was like mind blowing. Like he just seemed like a really cool, down to earth guy. I'd never really heard of him. And then 2 Sundays later, I was there watching him on TV playing the final round at Riviera. So that was an unbelievable experience. He was super, super nice, super cool guy. So
We gotta get you to caddy for like Justin Bieber or Mac Boucher or some or Thick or somebody cool like Ryan Blair on the back for somebody at a Canadian celebrity golf tournament. That
yeah,
we gotta make that happen. So that would be sick. That would be sick. Like if you could
I think
only golf one course, not your home course, but like one course that you had to like go travel to and like one course for forever, which one would it be?
I'd just have to say Bandon Trails or Bandon Dunes. Both of them, when I played the junior there, is unbelievable. Like being on the ocean. I mean, it's just different there. It's awesome.
So our other guy who's supposed to be here, Spencer, he's our third on the podcast. He couldn't make it today. He lives in Oregon, so he's played band. He's gotten to play Bandon, and he's also said it's probably the most fun day of golf he's ever had. So that's no surprise. It's no surprise. Is there like a close second? Is there like one you like really had trouble picking between, but you're like, I got to go Bandon? What would be like number two on the list?
There's just a few courses in Phoenix that I love. Estrella Mountain, that Estrella Golf Club there, it was unbelievable. I like that course. Southern Dunes in Phoenix or Maricopa was another great course. And then this Monday, I got to play my home course for next year, Niagara Falls Country Club, and I was blown away by how good that
Okay,
golf course
so
was.
so explain like what's that course like? So that's going to be your new home course. What's it
Yeah.
like? What are what's the course layout like? Is it open? Is it tight? Dog legs? Like we got water features. What are we working with on your new home course here?
So it's a country club style golf course, kind of tree lined, uh, thick rough. It's not super long, but it's a par 70 with only three par fives. So it plays a lot longer than 68, 50, I think it is.
Yeah.
And then it's just in unbelievable condition. They get so much rain and humidity there that the grass is perfect. I mean, the greens were rolling at like a 13 in the qualifier on Monday, and it was so tough. I think one guy, it was 113 players for 4 spots, and I think the top 50 were all Division One golfers, and one guy shot under par. So that'll tell you how difficult that golf course was playing.
So what's the key that you notice? Is it one of those courses where it's shorter, but you gotta put driver away, or like what is it? Does it force you to does it force you to be smarter? What is one key that you kind of picked up on as far as scoring pretty well there?
You gotta know how to putt. The greens are super slopey. They're tough, and then knowing where to miss is another big thing. Like there's a couple. I never played the course before I went in blind, so there's a couple holes, couple greens where you just can't miss on one side, or else it brings a pretty big number into play.
Yeah, yeah. We don't like big numbers on the Fairway Four Checks podcast. We don't do well with we're not good long iron hitters here on this podcast. I know. I like how your computer is a piece of crap. You come in late. You have two questions, half prepared by me, and then I ask you if you've got anything else for the kid, and you're like, no, I can't think of anything today. Just classic.
It's just hard because I didn't hear what else you asked him, so I don't want to repeat or anything.
Just go shoot. Get a humor the kid. What do you got? Come on.
Who's your golf idol?
I wasn't really a PGA Tour player. I never really had a player that stood out to me. Uh, but we used to bill it for guys on the Canadian tour when we lived in Oakland because they played at Pine Ridge. So there's these two guys named Garrett Sapp and Lucas Lee, and they were like, I was so inspired by them. They'd come every summer and stay with us, and we'd go watch the tournament. And it was just my dream to be like them one day, playing on the Canadian tour. And like they're so good to us, so good to me, especially. I'm still in contact with them today. I don't. I think both of them are at like country clubs now. They don't really play pro golf anymore. But those two guys were it for me.
They're just country club sticks now. They just play skins and just take money off people just all the time now. It's just they're just probably living. That's super cool though. Like you're a kid, you're into golf and hockey, and you're into just just pro sports, and then every summer you get these two, I'm sure, beauties that just come stay with you and live with you and just tell golf stories. So I'm sure Corn Ferry stories are probably better than PGA stories, and just tell golf stories, and you get to go watch them play, and then they come back and eat dinner, and like that's pretty cool. That's fun. So okay, so my last question, we'll end with this. So I'm right now I'm sitting right under a 12 handicap. I'm on this kind of like journey I'm kind of documenting it on YouTube and things. I'm on this kind of like journey, or will be. I'm kind of on this journey to get like as low as I possibly can. I want to get into single digits, and then I want to see like kind of where I can go from there. Mason fluctuates. Mason can hit the ball when he plays. His problem is he just doesn't play. Yeah, he just doesn't play. He just doesn't play that much.
Doesn't help right now.
Yeah. So for somebody like me or any amateur golfer out there who's actually concerned with, I want to get better. I'm not content with just shooting 95 and 100 just all the time. I want to start playing well and start getting into those lower scores. What to you is like the biggest thing? Because right now I'm currently taking actual lessons with a swing coach, and just after one or two, it's like some good habits are already starting to creep their way into my game, but it's expensive. So what to you is like the biggest thing? Is it, are you a firm believer in like getting a few lessons and investing in a swing coach for at least a little bit of time is key? Or is it, just grind on the range? But you hear all the time people say, don't do that, go actually play golf. Or is it a balance? Like what to you is the key to just kind of getting better at this game of golf and not getting stuck and hitting this plateau?
I'd say it's a balance for sure. I mean, you definitely need a little bit of a head start with some lessons. Some coaching never hurts, and then I think surrounding yourself with good golfers.
I think if you watch my swing, you would say no way that guy is a 12. But my short game is what keeps me hovering right there and not just being a complete like mush 16 or 17. Like it really is. But that's hockey, right? Like like hands, like having soft hands and around the green. Like I putt really well, but I get up and down for bogey a a lot of the time, and that saves my score and saves my round. Because I'm a 12. I hit it decent, but I it's decent for me is really, really bad for a good golfer, right? So, but like I said, the thing that keeps me right there is my short game, and I do spend quite a bit of time when I go to the range on 30 to 70 yard shots, and I've got a whole putting routine, but it saves me, and it's not always saving par, but it's getting up and down from for bogey and saving those doubles. Man, you can keep those doubles and triples off your scorecard as an amateur golfer. It's like impossible to shoot over 90, and anybody, not for you, but any any average golfer, amateur golfer that's shooting in the 80s, like that's a good day. That's typically a good day for us. But yeah, it makes sense. The swing coach helps. I was skeptical about spending the money. He's not cheap, but he knows what he's doing, and his biggest thing with me is telling me when we're at the range, we're not worried about where the ball's going. We're just worried about like what we've been working on, and then don't worry about what we've been working on when we're actually playing golf. Just swing, and you'll start noticing. And he's right. It's just kind of one of those things where it's in the back of my mind, but I'm not thinking about it. And all of a sudden, it's a nice strike, and my foot's doing something weird. And I'm like, okay, that's the good habits creeping in. So I am now a firm believer in lessons if you can afford them. But no, that's very, very good insight. Well, Mason, if you are if you don't have anything else, you unprepared mush, I can't. I don't want to keep Ryan too long, but Ryan, we can't thank you enough for hopping on with us today. I do want to get you back on at some point and talk about how Niagara is going sometime during the season, and we'll catch up with you and see how the season's going for you, how you're enjoying your time there, and all that good stuff. But we wish you luck. We wish you, tee him high, let him fly. Anybody listening, keep your eye on this kid in the college golf scene this year. But again, Ryan, we can't thank you enough for coming on, man. And you have a great day, buddy.
Talking to you. Have a good day.
And then there were two, but yeah, no, again, can't thank Ryan enough. Peterson, you hop on. I such a joke.
I had just gotten home when you asked if I could do it today.
Well, let's catch up with you. What's been going on?
So I broke my hand.
How did you do it? How did you do it?
I punched a wall. Not my finest moment.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Too many moonshines at Disney World.
Probably. Yeah, I broke the bone along the side of the hand.
Here. Yeah, you boxer fractured. You have a boxer fracture.
Yep.
I've done that 17 times.
Yep. Yeah. So I'm out of commission for probably about a month.
Well, you live and you learn. You live and you learn.
Yep.
How's the wall? Did you dry it? Did you drywall it up? Did you get it fixed up?
Cast, so I'm not stuck with one of the like plaster casts or anything like that, which is nice.
Okay. All right. You're still getting the deposit back? You get the deposit back at the end of the lease?
I have no idea. Probably not.
So I mean, have you got to play any golf? Speaking of golf, let's just call them out. I'm going to call them out, and I'm going to clip this. Metro West Golf Course in Orlando, Florida. Fuck you. Fuck you. You have held my rangefinder hostage since last October. I have emailed and called multiple times. I've spoken to multiple people, most likely fake aliases of names. I've gotten emails from people and then emailed back and then gotten emailed forwarded from other people. It's a rangefinder. First of all, I'm just going to say it. If I'm a paying customer from out of town, I've bought flights, I've paid for an Airbnb, I come to your course, I leave my rangefinder. Yes, I'm a dumbass for doing that, but does it happen? Of course. I leave my rangefinder, I fly home, I get home, I go, no rangefinder, I'm sad. I call you. You're a golf course. I know you don't make a ton of money. Mail it back to me. It would cost you $5 or $10. Give me somebody's email that I can, or a Venmo, I can send some cash to. They wanted me to go to UPS and get a shipping label printed and then send them the shipping. It was a bunch of bullshit. Now, when I call you the other day and say, first I texted Mason and said, can you just go to this place and pick it up for me? And he said, well, I live pretty far, but if they have it, I'll do it for you. Great guy. Thank you, Mason. So I said, before you do that, let me call again and make sure they have it. That way, before I send you on an excursion of 50 minutes in Florida traffic. So I call again. This is probably the 7th time I've talked to somebody there about this fucking rangefinder. It's not there anymore. How the fuck is it not there anymore? It was just 4 people just told me it was there and they had it up front with my name on it. Send them a shipping label. So if I would have paid for the fucking shipping label and emailed the shipping label to them, what then? I just paid for a shit. What the fuck is going on? So you do not have to go to Metro West. Fuck Metro West. I already got a new rangefinder because they're clearly not going to fucking give me mine back. And if you're listening to this Metro West, the Fairway 4 Checks podcast is not for holding rangefinders against their will. Send them back. They need to be sent back to their rightful owners. Lithium batteries and all. But I don't give a fuck. Like, just give me my rangefinder back. But again, I already got a new one, but fuck you. So you don't have to go to Metro West, Mason. There's my rant.
It sounds like I will not be going.
How's Disney?
It's been good. Nothing too crazy.
Are you still security as far as implementing and making sure people understand the new rules of no skipping the line?
Yes, definitely. It hasn't been that bad though. It's just super hot, so now it's just.
Is it just fucking balls hot right now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it rains like most afternoons. It rains, which makes it really nice when it's raining. It'll drop the temperature down to like the 70s or 80s. But if it stops raining and then it moves out and the sun comes back out, it just turns all of that into steam, and then it just makes it even hotter and even worse for everyone. So it's kind of like it's just always hot. Even if you get a break from it for a few minutes, like you basically, if it starts raining, you just hope it continues raining, because at least you'll be wet and it'll just be from rain. You'll at least be cooled off instead of sweaty.
Are the character suits, are they AC, or do they have ACs built into them, or are those guys and gals just sweaty?
They're sweaty. They rotate them out very frequently. So like basically like they'll say that they need like a bathroom break or something, or they'll come up with some like in character way for them to like duck behind a door, and then they come back out 10 seconds later and it's the next person in the costume.
Okay, so that's a Disney secret. There's multiple people as the same character on the same.
For the ones in like the big fuzzy suits and stuff, for sure.
Okay.
Just because it is so hot and it's easy for them. A lot of them will have their own like rooms for meet and greets, and they'll have whoever's the next one up, they'll have them ready, just so people don't have to wait that long for this person to go take a 20-minute water break. Instead, they can have the next one up and then just swap out a few people. So it's just, I feel like every theme park does it that has any kind of character interaction, just because it does get very hot in those suits. And I know they do it at Chick-fil-A too. I've even heard that they'll have like multiples at Chick-fil-A when they do the cow thing.
See, this is what you get when you come to this podcast. You get a little hockey, you get a little golf, and you get a little knowledge on how Disney World works when you go to Orlando. I mean, this is why the people come to listen. They listen for, mainly for the Disney World banter, I would assume. At this point. So, but yeah. So I mean, listen. You've got to stop punching walls. You've got to get the sticks in your hand. If you've got to start, swinging them again. We need to get you on the course. And for everybody who's listening, Mason pulled the most dickhead move on our golf trip last year. We flew to Orlando just to go on a golf trip, so that Mason had no excuse not to come, because he's always got an excuse not to fly places, right? So we were like, all right, we'll make it easy for him. We'll fly to him. He's got no excuse now. So we do it. We have everything set up. All this guy has to do, it's on a day he has off nonetheless, so no work excuse. All this guy has to do is wake up and show up at the golf course. Tee time set, everything's set. It's all done. It's all done. It's all done. We're at the course. No Mason, calling, no answer. Then he answers on like hole 5 and is like, I just woke up. My alarm didn't go off or whatever. So we fucking do an entire golf trip. Mainly the main point. Hey, did we want to go to Florida to golf? Sure. Was there more places we could have gone to golf? Sure. But did we want to see Mason? Sure. Did Mason show up? Absolutely not. Mason did not show up. So Mason's got transgressions on his account right now. So I don't know if we've max fined him for that, but quick little story on Mason's golf transgression. So we need to get clubs in your hand, and we need to actually get you physically to the course. Is this possible?
Oh, definitely. I can definitely. This will be back. I don't know how long like PT is going to be for my hand, but it should be back to where I don't have to wear a cast in the next like month or so.
Okay. All right, good. Well, I'm shipping your birdie brain to you this week, so you'll be getting that. So at least use that. You know, maybe that'll help you heal faster. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
We'll see.
But you know, we can't thank Ryan enough for coming on. He was very busy, you know, chasing his golf dreams. He's got tournaments to play in, so very much appreciated. And obviously, good luck to Ryan on his journey. And be on the lookout for that name popping up around the D1 college golf world this coming year. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube yet, make sure you do. The full podcast video episodes are up, and we are about to drop some fresh new golf content covering my journey to a single digit, becoming a scratch, and a brand new segment that we're going to be doing that you do not want to miss. The new segment we are about to drop is going to be absolutely great. It's something different. It's fresh. It's cool. So make sure you go to subscribe to the YouTube Fairway Forechecks in order not to miss any of that content. And available anywhere podcasts are available. That was another episode of the Fairway Forechecks podcast. We hope you enjoyed the ride. And for Mason's situation, we hope you enjoyed the mustache ride. So we will catch you on the flip side, people. This podcast is powered by Birdie Brain. If you are looking to increase stamina, elevate focus, and hydrate with an artificial sweetener-free superior nootropic, then you need Birdie Brain. Birdie Brain is specially formulated to provide golfers with the key nutrients they need to excel on the course. With a blend of essential vitamins, minerals, and nootropics, Birdie Brain is designed to support hydration, focus, and cognitive function, helping you achieve your best golf game yet. Stay focused on your next shot with Birdie Brain's powerful combination of natural nootropics to keep those scores low, such as lion's mane mushroom powder. Birdie Brain's ultimate hydration formula with sea salt, coconut water extract, magnesium, and sea minerals, and potassium will keep you fueled for all 18 holes and then some. Visit getbirdiebrain.com and sign up for email notifications to get 15% off your first order and never miss out on exclusive offers. There's even a sale going on right now. Tell them the boys at Fairway Forechecks sent you. I use Birdie Brain anytime I need a pick-me-up, especially when I need to focus for a round or to shoot some content. My favorite flavor is the wild cherry. Spencer loves the pineapple mango, and Mason is an Arnold Palmer man himself. You just can't go wrong with any flavor. Visit getbirdiebrain.com to get yours today.